Alrighty, heat number 1, starting in second to last place on the outside. And I have Eli on my inside, so I know he's going to get by me. So I duck in nice and quick to just follow him through because me and him talked before the race that I knew he was going to come through, so I might as well just tuck up behind him immediately. And then we could try and catch Keith. And this is my first time at this track running box stock heavy. Last year I ran Junior 3 and was pretty quick. So this year I was going to have my work cut out for me, and you see Eli already pulled away from me. And we were fast in the flat carts today, but I wasn't as fast as I wanted to be. That's for sure. And this track, it's hard to make up a lot of time unless you get your lines right every single lap. And with the limited amount of practice we had today, it was pretty difficult. And you can see coming out of 4, you have the grid right there, which is just open. So if you run even wide just a little, you go straight into the grid where all the people are standing. So it's always a funny view to look at when you're coming out of the corner. But you can see Eli is catching up to Keith a little, and me and Eli have kept about the same distance. And right now, we're just reeling in Keith. And only 10 laps, so it's going to be hard to pass him even if we get up to him. Because there's not a lot you can do here if you're about the same speed. See, Eli's closed up on him pretty well. And we're all getting about the same exits out of 4. See, Eli closes up on him. And now it's my chance to close up on Eli and get into the fight. 1 lap to go, so we're all closed up. And Eli doesn't have enough, and I don't have enough. So we end up finishing 3rd for the first box stock race. And now we have senior champ time, where I think I'm starting 4th. So on the outside once again. Actually, no, I'm starting 3rd. So I'm on the inside here. And Ron slides coming out of that corner. So I'm trying to push Ron through, but I have to get by Ron really fast so I can catch Jake. Because Jake's already starting to go away. And Ron slides out of that corner. Now I know I have to make my move here. I get out of that corner good, and then Jake slowed down some. And here, get a good exit. Everyone's about even. Jake just pushes up the track, and right there, get by him. And at that corner, there's that underpass. So when you come out of that corner, the track kind of goes off over there. But you have to come back on the track really fast. It's like if you race them bastard and they give you that little runoff, but you have to come back on the track in like 2 kart lengths. So that made it good for Jake because he pushed up still into the pavement. But then he had to turn right back up into the track. And I already was at max grip, so I was just hoping he wouldn't turn up into me. But the kart turned just enough to where we didn't hit each other. And that allowed me to get by cleanly. See, Eli's trying to pass Ron in the back, but Ron is so good at blocking. He makes his kart like 3 wide. But I've already checked out, put a good gap on the field. See, Eli finally gets by with 2 to go, and I already put a whole corner on him, really. And yeah, just in all, senior champ, the kart was feeling great all day. And especially in these early stages with the new tires, it felt so good. And out of 4, there's a big hole right at the end, so it was always nervous in the champ about hitting it. Now for box stock heavy heat 2, I start on the outside front row. So once again, it's going to be hard because we know Eli is going to give me nothing. And I have 2 carts that are going to try and freight train up the inside. So we actually get a great start. Wow. So me and Eli are immediately checked out, and I fall back pretty quick off of Eli. But there is a big bump out of 2 where the track's just kind of uneven. So that really unsettles the karts out of there. So if you don't have it pointing just the right direction, you're going to understeer straight into the grass. So that always makes this track a little fun, because down there you have to be just perfect. And the Champ made it really awesome because, you get off that corner and then you start bouncing. So if you don't have it pointed the right way and you're still trying to turn out of that corner, you're just screwed. See, I catch up to Eli just a little bit here. And me and him are about the same speed. And you see Keith finally made it past. And Keith is catching up. Halfway. And about a kart length between me and Eli. A little less. And you see, didn't get a good run out of that corner. And these first 2 races, I just didn't have any roll speed. So I was coming out of the corner, and I was still having to let off more than them. So I didn't have any roll speed to catch them down the straights like I normally do. You see, now I'm starting to get good here. And get a good exit there. Fake it going into the inside. He covers nicely. I fake going down there. He slides up, but I don't have enough. And now there's too far of a gap to get him. And he's going to end up getting it, sliding out of the corner. But good race. I was hoping if I faked him like I did at Hope Sound 2 weeks ago that he would push up the track and give me just enough room to get under him. But he learned. He knows my little tricks, so he stopped letting that happen. Heat 2 in Senior Champ. Don't know where I'm starting. Second, it looks like. So, once again, on the outside, which is about the worst spot to be in the Champ. On the outside, because if you're smart, they'll just stick on the guy and under me, and then freight chain me, and then I'll go to the back. But luckily, that these Champs don't have that great of grip if you turn in low, which makes it raceable on the outside if you do it just right. Which is my strategy going into this. I was going to try to keep it around the outside and at least squeeze Eli into the first corner and then fall behind him. Or I was going to push straight off the track because there's not a lot of room out of 4. So get a good start. We're even going in the first corner. And I get really good speed out of that corner being in the inside and going to cut across Eli, not allowing him to get to the bottom, and immediately put on a good gap. Now it's all about just consistency. For when they battle, I can just put down my fastest laps and check out. Because right now, Eli's just worried about Jake behind him, and Jake is just worried about Eli. So I can just focus on my lines and get away from them, and then they'll battle it out, and I'll put a good gap on them, which I'm doing right now. And so on that start there, how I was able to get such a good run on the outside is Eli had to go to the inside sharp because I was holding him down. So he had to lose all of his speed to make the corner, and then he had to lose more speed to drive it off the bottom, which allowed me to keep my speed up and just keep my momentum up and get all the RPM advantage out of the corner, which allowed me to drive it straight down the straight faster and get to the first corner faster. But you can see I've put a good gap on them already, and now I could just coast once we get in corners and just let them do their thing behind us. But once again, Eli's still just worried about Jake. He knows he can't catch me in this heat because there's only 10 laps and it's already 2 to go. But already put up almost a straightaway gap. White flag's out. And Eli held off Jake well. Jake ends up falling off there at the end. but we pick up the second heat race win, which means I'll be starting first for senior champ. Just finished up the 2 heats for each class. Going into feature time, we won both champ heats, got good starts in both, and didn't win in the flat cart yet, but hopefully we're gonna do that now. We got a 3rd place and a 2nd place, and we're very close, and we're right there on time. So I'm gonna go out there right now and hopefully we put it on first. Okay, starting 3rd for box stock heavy feature. On the inside, which is going to be great. Hopefully I can get Keith off the start, which will allow me to set up for 2nd. But coming into this race, I didn't think I had the fastest kart. I knew I was the best here, and I could make the best moves. But I knew I didn't have the street speed. So I was going to have to get lucky, or just figure out some way to get by him on this track where there's not much passing room. Get a good start, and Keith is immediately still on his outside, which isn't good for me because he squeezes me down, and then I don't get the speed out of this corner. So I let him in, and hopefully me and Keith can catch up to Eli and not let him break away, because then we'll have no chance of winning this. So we just need to focus on Eli and not let him run away like I was doing in the champ, because they started fighting each other, which led me clear out. And you see right there, I missed my exit by about a tire width, which makes me break away, but I immediately am able to catch back up because they start battling. And able to push Keith into that corner a little, help him out. He goes for the move. Eli hits his rear bumper, rear tire, which Eli doesn't clear him. One person in the grid's waving the yellow flag, no one else is. Eli lets off I keep going because Flagman wasn't waving the yellow, and neither was Ray down there in turn 1. So Eli lets off, which makes me get a whole track advantage, which is really unfortunate, and this has happened to me once before in this series, which completely ruined my race, and now it ruined Eli's. So like I said in the beginning, I was going to have to get lucky, and lucky I did get. I have a whole half a track advantage, basically. So now I can just coast. And you see, catching up to lap traffic pretty quick. Eli's still in about the same spot. Hasn't gained anything. It's just pretty hard because we're the same speed. So unless he makes some big mistakes here, he's not going to be able to gain anything. And 10 laps already happened. And Keith ended up having to pull off after that little tangle up because his chain broke right there. When Eli hit him, it just popped his chain. You see, I'm able to pass the lap traffic clean. And now I'm really checked out because Eli's going to have to pass the lap traffic too. So white flag comes out, and Eli's at about the same spot still. So didn't lose any time, and we're able to pick up a win. Okay, just finished up box stock heavy feature. We finished first, and I got super lucky at the beginning. I don't think I was the fastest kart, but I ended up getting where they thought it was a caution, and I saw the caution flag, but 2 people that I saw didn't throw it, so I kept going, and I ended up getting at least half track. So I got really lucky there and ended up winning the race, and now we have senior champ up, and hopefully we can do the same. Alright, senior champ features starting on the pole. Now I just can't let Eli did what I did in the feature. So immediately get a good start, and Eli drops back to 3rd. And Jake's on me right away, but I'm able to block him out of 2. And now out of 4 he gets a big slide. So I'm immediately break away once again in the champ. And now Jake's trying to close back up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. And my kart wasn't as good as this race. It started sliding because I think my tires just got worn out a little bit. But it was pretty free out of 4. And out of 2, it was still pretty good. But out of 4, I was fighting it a little. So definitely wasn't as fast in this race as most. But I'm already breaking away from the pack. Eli and Jake are still very close together. But I've already put up a good gap. Have plenty of breathing room. Eli's right on the back bumper of Jake. And then he slows out of that corner because the keyway for his sprocket ended up breaking. Like I was telling you guys about the bumps earlier, when you come off that corner, your car's like, it's kind of lugging out of that corner because of the bumps. So that ended up breaking his sprocket keyway, which I was kind of nervous was going to happen to mine. Not the sprocket keyway, but I figured something might have happened on the corner. Because you come out of there and you get a little buck almost. But it's the same as with the flat carts. But now I have a big advantage halfway. And cut to the white flag. And now I have a really big advantage, half track. And Ron actually ended up pulling off too. Not sure what happened to him. But ended up picking up the win in senior champ. Nice and easily with no trouble.
Bro, this cart's more like Bill Willis, like 6 years in a row.
Well, yeah, if this actually ran Bill Willis 6 years in a row, it would have also run.
I beat you last Bill Willis. But like,
That was my first time ever in a champ, by the way.
no,
Yes, it was.
you raced it like twice.
Nope, first time ever in a champ. Isn't that true, DJ?
Are you putting AJ in the middle
It
of it?
wasn't Bill Willis' first time ever in a champ.
Yep.
Every time I look at